and keep your cup full. Keep yourself full. Because you only when you're full, I'm overflowing, my cup runneth over. I have so much to offer and so much to give. And I am not afraid of honoring myself.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. There was a Saint Valentine who loved God so much, and he was hit with clubs and then he was beheaded and he died. But now many people are sharing flowers and chocolates and all of that. We actually forget that there was suffering in the love and in the pain. Now, I'm not saying don't share your flowers, don't share your chocolates and all of that. That's not what I'm talking about today. Today, I'm talking about having self-love. Self-love sometimes comes with pain. I made a video like 2 weeks ago, and a friend sent me a message to say she really enjoyed that video. She said she was having a very bad day and she just felt so encouraged when I said, "You are special." Another person sent me a message saying that she had problems with her husband and with her children on the day, and when she heard "you were special," she just felt really encouraged. And she just reminded herself that, it's not like her family members do not love her or appreciate her. It's just because there's so much happening around her and she just felt overwhelmed. A lot of people ask me how I balance career, being a wife, being a mother to 4 children, having my own family as in father, mother, brothers, sisters, and also being a businesswoman. And I never really have a perfect answer. Someone called me last week, and when I said to her, I've been so busy that I've just been eating any rubbish I see and all of that, she was like, "You?" She said, "My superwoman." She said, "No, that can't be you. That can't be you at all." So let's talk about self-love, especially if you have such a busy life that you do not even have any time to look after yourself. Now, I want you to take a deep breath. Why do you think that when you're in labor, they actually ask you to take a deep breath and release your muscles? That is because when you take in deep breaths and you release, you actually relieve stress. So you see, sometimes people do not know that they can have a cardiac arrest when they are too stressed. They do not know that I love my family, so I'm going to kill myself for my family. It means that if you die, you're going to leave your children, your husband, or your wife to look after themselves without you. So you need to look after yourself. I'm not talking about being selfish, but what I'm talking about is taking some time for yourself without feeling guilty at all. If you keep pouring out my family, my friends, my job, my career, my this, my that, my business, once you are empty, there will be nothing else to pour and you'll be useless to everyone, including yourself. Have you ever had a burnout? I've had so many burnouts, and I used to want to just give everything. I want to give my time, I want to give my money, I want to give food, I want to give everything. And I was burning out constantly. Now I've learned how to find a balance. So let me tell you 1 or 2 things that you can do to practice self-love. Look yourself in the mirror and tell yourself you are special. Remind yourself that there is nobody like you. That is why you are you. That is why you're not someone else. Remind yourself that you're fearfully and wonderfully made. Remind yourself of a situation that you handled so positively. So every time you're in a situation where you feel like you've made a bad decision, don't get stressed about it. Try not to beat yourself up because of that decision. Remember that you have made good decisions in the past, and also remember that you're not the only one who makes bad decisions. We learn from our experiences, we carry on moving. And this is one that I like. Fill your body with nutritious food. Make sure that you are eating for your health, not with your eyes. When I feel very stressed, I eat with my eyes. You can then raise what is called cortisol in the body. It's time for you to start sorting yourself out, because if you break down, you actually are the one who has caused yourself that kind of pain, sickness, suffering. So why don't we just slow down, relax, eat well, relax, drink a lot of water. Drink a lot of fluid. And when I mean fluid, I don't mean drink a lot of alcohol and drink a lot of caffeine drinks, like Red Bull gives you wings to fly away and all of that. I mean, just drink plain old water to clear your organs. Water flushes out toxins from you. So get drinking, because when you drink, you are drinking for yourself. It is a sign of self-love. When you turn yourself into a garbage can, it means that you do not love yourself. So if you're a mother and you have 4 children and you keep eating whatever they leave just basically because you do not want to waste food, you have turned yourself to a dustbin. It was someone who told me that his grandmother told him that every time he had more food than his stomach had capacity to hold, he had turned himself into a dustbin. Do you know, that really shook me. So every time when I'm eating too much, I just remind myself that I'm not a dustbin. I remind myself that I am fearfully and wonderfully made. I am a vessel of honor. My body is a temple. Another thing is, don't believe everything you think. You have a soul and you have emotions. That is where you store things that happened in the past. Things like your parents saying to you, you're really stupid. Things like that person at work saying to you, you have no ability to do A, B, C. That person at work saying, oh, you are fired because you didn't do A, B, C. And you then thinking, I would never amount to anything. A said I was no good, B said I was no good. And all of that become a thought pattern, a thought process. Every time you're trying to move forward, you have that thought that keeps you down. You criticize yourself. Stop criticizing yourself. Like I said, look in the mirror, remind yourself who you are. Remind yourself that you are special. You're not anybody else. You're yourself. Because if you were anybody else, then you wouldn't be you, you'll be them. And that, I find, is very boring. I would never want to be like somebody else. The next one is surround yourself with people who praise you. What you listen to is so important. I do not listen to the news, and I haven't listened to the news since March. Hear me out. If you want to listen to the news, feel free to listen to the news all day. But I find that it can mess up my mental health, especially if I've had a very long week. I'm not in that frame of mind where everything I listen to I can process properly. Sometimes, you just hear 1,000 people died in Japan, 2,000 people died in Yorkshire, 17,000 people died in New York, and you've just had a very stressful week. You've just come back from work, you're watching all of this, and then you go to bed, and all you can think of is how people are dying, how the world is closing up on you, and then you land yourself in the office the next day, or if you work from home, and then you're thinking, I cannot do this, the world is closing up on me. If you ever feel like listening to the news or listening to a particular person drains you, then I'm sorry, you need to cut them out. When I was single with no children, no husband, I could be part of every group. Everything you asked me to join, I would join. But it's so different from me now, and I'm sorry that sometimes I have to say no. I watched Oprah Winfrey say that someone had asked her to give to a particular charity. It was when the world found out how much she was making, and people were coming to her and saying, give to this charity, give to this charity. And people were thinking that every time they said the charity was for children, she would give everything that she had, and she learned to say no. So sometimes you have to say no, and that is self-love, because if you are drowning, sometimes people don't even know how to drag you out, and sometimes people actually don't even care that you're drowning and they want you to drown. So know yourself. Surround yourself with people that are to you, not people who take from you. You need to love this person first, because if you do not love yourself, you cannot love other people. If someone is drowning and you're not in a good place and you try to rescue them, you must drown with them. But then if you're in a good place, maybe you're standing up, then you can pull them up. If, however, someone is standing up and another person is standing down, who do you think would fall? It's the person who is up that will fall, because they are trying to pull someone up and it becomes a burden. So why don't you stand properly? Make sure your legs are well secured. Maybe you can hold on to something and then you can pull someone up. So make sure that you surround yourself with the right people, and that your thoughts are clean, and that you are not dragging other people down. My son was saying, what is the difference between drag and pull? if you're into physics. I thought about it, and that's a very good one. Sometimes you're dragging something, sometimes you're pulling something. The main thing is that you're using energy, and some things are not worth investing your energy in, so just cut them out. Now, this is a big one. Stop comparing yourself to others. Every time you compare yourself to other people, you're saying to yourself, I do not love you. I do not like you. I wish you were someone else. Why? You are special. Don't compare yourself to others. Think about the good things that you have done and think about what sets you apart. Everyone has something that sets them apart.